Hello, good morning, guys. I hope that you're feeling very good in this Thursday. So, today we are going to be talking about the lesson B, all right? So, yesterday we were in a call where we were having some discussions and also developing your speaking skills. So, it was something really good. I really enjoyed it. So, as you see, this is the topic of the lesson B, tossing and turning. Okay, tossing and turning, that you know already what it means. That is when you are not able to sleep and you start moving around on your bed and all that. So that is the action, tossing and turning. So over here, we were discussing during the call about this statement that we have over here, a good night's sleep, and you were saying in this case, which kind of person are you accordingly to this statement. So today we are going to take a look to the vocabulary of the lesson B and also the grammar, which is the only thing that is missing up to now. So here we are stating additional vocabulary. So here we have the first one, breakthrough. So breakthrough in this case, which means like enter in a process, right? Or we could say also when you finish doing something and you achieve, all right, in what you're doing, you break through. Okay, imagine for example that you discover the cure of the coronavirus, so that's a breakthrough. All right, caffeine, you know already, the coffee used to have caffeine, also the Coke, the Coca-Cola, uh, most of the sodas, all of them has it. So experimental. Here we are, it comes from the word experiment. So this word is in Spanish, so I don't think I have to explain it. The other one is gene, gene, which this one comes from. This is the one that actually used to talk about the traits and also that determines the characteristic of a person, all right, which is the gene. Um, it's totally different. Some people can get confused with gene and gym. Okay, so be careful with those two pronunciations. Implication, when we talk about the implication, maybe into a problem or something like that, right? So um, it's involucrated into that part, implication, almost in Spanish too. So here we have two different phrases that we use when we are giving an explanation or when you are doing emphasis to something. For example, on the one hand, so it's like when you're explaining on the one hand, on the other hand. Okay, when somebody asks you also the opinion about something, so you can say, well, but what you're saying on the one hand is good, but on the other hand, I think that we should do this, and this. All right, so that is the ones that you use to give different choices or options. Okay, and also we use it to disagree with something, but in a soft way. Okay, like on the one hand you are correct, but on the other hand I think that it's this and this. The last one is pharmaceutical. Pharmaceutical, which is all which is involucrated by with drugs, all right, for example aspirin, all kind of pills, those are things that are pharmaceutical. All right, so here we have some useful expressions, guys, that these help you out with giving some advice. When we are giving an advice, you can say, have you ever thought of going, or these cases is the ones that you use to give an advice, but in order that help you not to make the other people feel bad, okay, about what you're saying. For example, if you see a person that tells you, oh my gosh, I don't know what I have to do, but I am stressed, I feel sleepy all the time, and so down. So I don't know. I don't know what it comes at. So in this case, you can give the advice and say, have you ever thought of doing exercise? Or have you ever thought of going to the gym? That's something that helps you. Or it might not be a bad idea to go to a doctor, for example. Or the way I see it, you ought to take a vacation, for example. Or you might want to relax. So those are different situations of phrases that you use to give an advice in a soft way. The other one is, all right, interpreting meanings. Like this is, I guess you remember when we were talking about dreams, that in this case there is a part here in the unit where you have to interpret some meanings of dreams here. They give you the statements and you were saying what is that, what does that mean? Okay, so same thing happens here with this part. Okay, I think that means, or I think, sorry, it might symbolize, and then you say exactly what, or it sounds like, for example, if you dream eating food, right, eating a lot, so in this case it sounds like you're hungry, or like that you were hungry when you and the body was telling you to eat. The other one is the balloon. All right, the balloon probably stands for, okay, this is like the point, or probably stands for, um, when we want to focus into that part. So this is actually what we use, those kind of phrases. The most common ones is this: I think that means, or it might symbolize, or it sounds like. But on the other hand, we have, which is the grammar here, where we're going to be talking about clauses stating reasons and conditions. Okay, so maybe you would say, what is exactly that? Okay, so these are just some phrases that we use, some words to state which is a reason, right, or to put a condition. So the following, as they say here, the following are all additional commonly used clauses that state reasons and conditions. For example, the first one, now that, okay, the word now that, this, like they say, introduce which is a change in general circumstances that explain the main clause. The meaning of now that is because now. This is so you can have a better idea. Here you have a sentence that says, now that I have a job that starts early, I have to leave the house by 6:30. Okay, so this what you can hear actually is a phrase, so you can use it to say like because now. Other ones are whether or not. Okay, whether or not introduces, this is one word, whether or not. Okay, it's not separated. You can separate it in the sentence, but look at now in the positions that we can use it. So introduces a condition that might or might not occur and which will not influence the main clause. Okay, so here you can know that we have two different positions, two possible positions. Like when we say she goes jogging every morning, whether or not is bad weather. Okay, so it's like it doesn't matter if it's raining. All right, does not matter if it's raining. Anyways, she's going. In this case, she's going to go to jogging, to do jogging, right? So she goes jogging every morning, whether it's bad weather or not. Okay, so here the or not, you can use it at the end of the sentence also and separate whether with or not. Okay, so here we have the condition. the condition, which is if it's about weather, okay, and here is the reason. The other one is the provided or providing that, okay, these two. These ones, like they say, introduces a condition that must be met for the main clause to be true, all right? For example, provided that I get all my schoolwork done, my weekend will be free. Okay, so they are just talking like a kind of if this happen, all right. So in this case, I'm gonna have this. Providing that I get a promotion, I'll stay with my company a few more years. Okay, so they are giving you those information like talking in the future also, all right, like possibility that there exists. Okay, so that's the word, the usage. They are pretty easy. You only need to know in which cases we have to use them. Okay, it depends on what you are going to say. So provided that I get my schoolwork done, that's what they say, all my schoolwork done, my weekend in this case, or I'll be totally off for 2 days. Okay, so those are the examples that you have into the unit 4 lesson B. Okay, in the book here at the beginning you have also some other clauses that state reasons and conditions. For example, let's see, even if. Okay, let me check it here. Here we have even if that this introduce a condition that does not influence in the main clause at the beginning. It doesn't influence with this. Okay, I sometimes lie awake at night even if I'm really tired. All right, so this is pretty similar to whether or not. Considering that, this is another. Let me take a look here. So considering that, here introduces these clauses and reasons that explain the main clause. So here they explain here the first one. Considering that in provided, right, or providing that, they are synonyms, so you can use any of them. I am lucky that I can get by on 6 hours of sleep, considering that most people need 8. All right, so as you can see, there is just a slight difference between providing that, all right, with considering that, or provided that with this one, and is that considering, you can also use it for comparing things, all right, for comparing. Here, as you see, he is comparing himself with the other people. The other one is as long as you love me. So as long as introduces a condition on which the main clause depends. So here the main clause, which is the first sentence, is considered as main clause. Here this other sentence depends on the first. Like if they say, an example, I can manage on 5 hours of sleep as long as, okay, I take a nap during the day. So for that reason is that they say that it depends on the first one, because in order for you to sleep 5 hours, okay, you need to take a nap during the day. All right, so that's why that is the example they have there. A word that is used a lot is unless. Unless introduces something that must happen in order to avoid a consequence. Okay, so this is what they say, introduces something that must happen. That's what they say, it needs to happen in order to avoid the other, okay, or to avoid the consequence, the result. For example, unless I get a good night's sleep, I can easily fall asleep at school, at work, or even on the bus. So this is the meaning of unless in the cases that we stated. That unless I get a good night's sleep. All right. So that's why if it means like that, if he or she doesn't have that good night sleep, all right, sleeping, that person can easily sleep anywhere. The other one is just in case. Okay, so here is in parentheses this part because it's optional for you to use it. You can say in case also. All right, so just in case introduces an undesirable circumstance that needs to be taken into account. For example, I always set 2 alarm clocks just in case, all right, just in case one of them doesn't goes off. Okay, for example, also you can say, well, today I'm taking my umbrella with me just in case it rains. Okay, so it's like that's why they say undesirable circumstances. And the last is only if or only, and putting so like similar to whether or not. Like I only wake up early if I have somewhere to be in the morning. All right, so here as you see, this introduces the condition that must be met for the main clause to be true. Okay, so I only wake up early. So this is the first main clause. I only wake up early if I have somewhere to be in the morning, if I have to go to a place in the morning. Or I wake up early, you can say it also together. I wake up early only if I have somewhere to be in the morning. Okay? For example, you can also say, I drink coffee at night only if I have to stay pretty late at night doing homework or something like that. So that is the usage of only if. Here you have some examples, guys, with also an exercise that you have to compare the answers and complete it. All right, you have to match each one from A to F, okay, with 1 to 6. And here we have some sentences that you can complete it with information about yourself. An example is, unless I have enough sleep at night, I can't think very clearly in the morning. Look at the difference here. All right, so that was it, guys, for all. I hope that you could understand pretty well this grammar. It is pretty easy, like I told you. You only have to state or to identify what is the ones who makes more sense with them. Okay, so any questions that you might have, don't hesitate in texting me through my WhatsApp, and I'll be there to help you out. All right, so this was everything for today. See you the next time.